Alright folks, so it's big camera mode, no gameplay, and I just wanted to throw up a 10-minute discussion just about Gears 5. So as you know, Node Zero has left Gears 5. He was the multiplayer guy, obviously had a big impact in Gears, and also Rod Ferguson's left. Two massive figures, I guess, that have led all of the Gears, and then Gears 4 and Gears 5. Completely mixed reception to both people leaving. Some people saying it's really, really sad. Some people saying, it's great Rod left, it's great Node left, For me, on a personal level, it's the most interaction I've ever had with a developer. It's the nicest interactions I've ever had with a developer. He's been the most honest. This is Node. There's I can't say enough about the quality of sort of work that Ryan put in, and sort of, I guess I would say, the clarity of his communication, especially with me. I'll really say on a personal level, it's definitely the most a developer has ever interacted with me. It was about my favourite franchise, Gears, and for that I'm thankful, and I wish you all the best. I've spoke to Ryan personally, and I know a little bit more, but I'm not going to say some things just because they were said in private, and I'm not going to repeat them. But I'm sure people can use their imagination and have a good guess as to a couple of reasons why a few people might have left. Now, in terms of gameplay, people have been asking me all day and all yesterday, what's Operation 3 like? Do you like the shotgun? Do you like the Lancer? Do you like the game the way it is? What do you think? Are you looking forward to where the franchise is heading? Are you nervous? All these questions, and I thought I'd just sit down for 10 minutes and just answer them. I've got, if I show you here, to give you an example, I've got hundreds of files all saved up in here, all saved up. We've got issues files. These are just two folders. I've got 500 gig of stuff that simply has issues that I feel that needs looking at, that needs working on. And that sounds a lot, doesn't it? 500 gig of issues, but that's just video files, and it's also me recording to double check, because sometimes you think something was, something different should have happened, like I should have killed that guy, I shouldn't. You rewatch it and you realize it was okay. Sometimes it wasn't. Now, I've spoke about, flashbangs, we've spoke about delays, we've spoke about sometimes the lack of trade kills, sometimes there are too many trade kills, poke range, max poke range, gib range, lancer damage, lancer clip size, map crossing, ease of map use, amount of players on the map. All of these things I've spoke about, and I could sit here and continue to speak about for a long, long time. I could make video and video and video and video with point, example, explanation. And I could do that, and I'm happy to do that, but I am a bit worried for the state of the franchise, and I'll tell you why. Again, just to say thanks to Node. Also, Node left me a really nice quote. He said, "Thanks for the very thoughtful videos. I think you may have single-handedly raised the bar for feedback videos. I thank you for the feedback and insights to the game." Like, to me, on a personal level, to start a channel again, having never been in the community since like Gears 3, and to then have the developer say those words, that means more to me than people will know on the channel. That's like a huge thing. I feel like, as sad as it is, I feel like that's an accomplishment, that somebody that developed a game that I really enjoyed would say that about me, and I'm pleased that I did the videos. And also, one of the only reasons I continued was I made that video where I was really, really upset about Gears 5, and I made that rant video. And then I made the long video with all the explanations of how the game has become slightly less skilled, and Ryan stepped out and point by point, minute by minute, second by second, analysed all the footage and interacted with me, and I thought, wow, rather than me just shouting into the void, that was my plan. I was going to do a couple videos, say my bit, and then leave again, leave the scene. But because somebody stepped out with such clarity and such honesty and was like, yeah, I understand some points, that makes sense. Other points I don't understand, let's have a dialogue. Like, that helped me stay in the scene. The only reason I've stuck in the scene for this long was because I felt like my feedback was going somewhere useful. I'm not sure if that's the case anymore. I'm sure the team are listening, and I've spoke to other people from the team, and they're really nice people. But I'm not sure about high level balance if the feedback, the work is going to be put in, I'm just going to be truthful with you. And I'm sure I'd say the same if a member of the TC studio was sat in my stream or, you know, in a direct message, which I've chatted to some people. It's like I've got all of these issues, but I feel like in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you why. I signed in today and the Tour of Duty didn't work. A couple days later, it was fixed. Then I played a game of Horde. I did 50 waves. None of my progress was saved. I then played some online. I was on some good connections. I was on some bad connections. I then played online. I was shot from places where I believed I wasn't, and I believed the other person was in a different location. And it's very difficult to see what's happening on screen. Am I where I am? Is he where he is? Where do I shoot? Am I about to be... I've seen clips of people being backpacked. You know, someone slid through them. You've made sure you're behind their character, and then you die. And it's very hard to have intense, skilled shotgun battles when you make that slight adjustment and manage to get behind them, that you're then aim assisted or you're lag compensated or you're just not where you think you are, and then you die. There's issues like the left hand side of a back A just one shots relentlessly. The right hand side of a back A doesn't seem to be the same. Sometimes you like slide into cover and it instantly back A's, feels nice. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you're ready to shoot a guy and they slide into the corner of the wall. You're hard aiming that corner of the wall, and before the bullets come out, the guy's already killed you. Now there was some gameplay changes. The up A speed was lowered. Great, we said great. But what they secretly did without telling us is they upped the gib range. It was not in the patch notes. There was a small line about the maximum point blank damage, which to me means point blank is you're not gibbing them, you're just as close as you can be to killing them. It said that's been upped. But then when we confirmed with Octus in a tweet that had 1 like and it was buried, he said, yeah, we spoke internally with the team and the gib's been upped. Now, I know I shouldn't say this, but I will say it because I think it's important. Ryan said he hasn't had to play the game for 3 weeks, and I don't believe Ryan would have allowed the game to come out in this manner. Now, maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but on a personal level, I feel like one thing that would frustrate me as a person is if I did all this tweaking and I did all this balance work of, right, we're going to lower the gib range, we're going to increase shotgun dancing, we're going to increase strafe movement, we're going to try and make extended shotgun fights, then in a single patch, you know, what's the point of lowering the movement speed of the up A? That's to give people a chance to react. But if you up the gib range, then the person just shoots earlier, and then you have, again, less time to react. Online in King of the Hill, I've had multiple people, high-level people, rank 1 masters players that are always masters, come out and say, yeah, I've played King of the Hill, there's no shotgun fights. There's this magnetism that's been removed at long range. Shots just feel odd. Shots are going through people. And basically, if you're not 2-shot hard aiming someone down, it seems a bit weird, because when you get in a shotgun fight again, you just get blown away by a gib and the extended fights are gone. So now you've got poke range of just a 2-shot down cannon, which isn't fun. Nobody enjoys that game style. And then if you somehow get past the 2-shot down range, you then don't begin to have an extended fight. It's just you're so red off the single shot of poke that the next one downs you, or you get blown away because the gib's increased. We've also had a section of Lancer buffs. We've had a section of what I would call indirect and direct buffs. Now, the smokes have become the primary launch weapon. There's no flashbangs. So everyone now, instead of throwing 10 flashbangs, is going to throw 10 smokes. That's evident. That's obviously going to happen. People are in a habit of throwing flashbangs. They're now obviously going to throw smokes. So there's now 10 smokes on the map. And it's just awkward gameplay to have shotgun fights in constant smoke. We've also got situations like there's an extra clip in the Lancer. That's an extra 10 bullets. With 5 people, that's an extra 50 bullets. It's 11 bullets to down someone. So with an extra 50 bullets available on the map, that's an extra 4 downs that can happen, or kills can be finished off. So that's kind of buff 1. The clip size got buffed. Buff 2, so flashbangs have been removed, which means setups are harder to break. So now Lancers are naturally stronger, because obviously it's hard to break a Lancer setup. So that's another buff. And there's just like been 1, 2, 3 indirect / direct buffs to the Lancer that's just tipped it over the edge. And I think anyone that could see this and plays the game a lot would know this is coming, and that's why it's frustrating. If you remove the flashbangs, the last thing you should do is then buff the Lancer, because the Lancer's already getting buffed because of the flashbangs been removed. You don't then also then add bullets on top of it. The gib range, again, that's what I didn't enjoy, that whole style of like no shotgun battle, it's just gib or be gibbed, and that's okay, right? If the gib is going to be like bigger, I could live with it, I can adapt. But when you're also on these pingy connections, the way the lag works, like on Gears 1, you lagged and you could see your bullet lagging 2 seconds in front of you, but everybody on the screen was where they were sort of on the server, because it was host peer-to-peer, I believe, and you could see that the guy was lagging, whereas now nobody lags, the game looks perfect, it looks fluid, but you can shoot and then it whiffs because he's probably not there, and then other times you're holding your shot and you're ready to shoot the guy and then you get gibbed and you're like, like I thought he was out of gib range, but on his screen he must have stepped in a pixel, and then we're back to that whole pixel guessing of gib range, and I don't enjoy that. I'm not here again to do 500 gig of clips analyzing the game and rebalancing the game. It's sort of beyond me right now. I can't do that on my own. That would need to be a community effort. You know, like I say, I can sit here with 500 gig of clips, talk about all these things in minute detail, but the reality is, if the servers are still the way they are, it's always going to have a problem. If there's still 5 people on the map and the maps are really cross-heavy, there's always going to be a problem. And also, naturally, players have got better. Gears 1, when it first came out, people didn't really cross unless you were GB and you knew what you were doing. People just thought the Lancer was useless. But as connections have improved, as players have improved, everybody, like, they don't, like in, say, Gridiron, if you're in a 1v2, the guy don't go and take a 1v1, you go and 2v1 the guy and go wide on him and Lancer him down. And that's like, it makes sense, it's like a smart thing to do, but it's not really fun. And that's not really a developer problem, that's just a way that people have learnt to play Gears. Third-person games, everyone's got better. But right now, I don't really enjoy the multiplayer. I was really enjoying it. Now, for me, the best patch I've ever played on and the most fun I've ever had in Gears in years and years was 4.11. With that really short gib range, barely any poke. To me, all they needed to do was add the smallest amount of poke range on the maximum poke, as in the distance that the very farthest shotgun shell would hit, so you can keep people red and stop them regenning. Then there was all these fights happening at close range, and then remove the flashbangs, nerf the Lancer a lot, lower the clip size, and lower the smoke duration to about 5 seconds, because there's a load of smokes. Because then if you were playing competitive and you did actually want to zone off an area, instead of it lasting 8 seconds, it might last 5, and because everybody's got a smoke rather than a flashbang, you could just lob your smokes and continually re-smoke the same area, if that's what you wanted to do. But right now, I'm not in the mood to sit and talk about, like, Lancer time to kill. Is this weapon broken? We've also got, if you didn't know, the sort of notion at TC, I believe, is they use telemetry, figures, facts to say if a gun is used or not, basically. So if the Boltok isn't been picked up, if the overkill isn't been picked up, they'd basically buff and buff and buff it until it's used as much as every other gun. What that fails to understand to me is when a gun is not picked up, it's not necessarily just because of its power. I'll give an example. On Reddit, there was a clip of a guy downing 6 people with a claw, and he said, "This gun's awesome, it's so overpowered." And the top comment, with quite a few hundred upvotes, was, "It really annoys me when somebody sees the claw on the floor and doesn't pick it up. Do they not know how powerful it is?" And it's not that we don't know how powerful the claw is. I just won't naturally go and fight over the claw because it's not fun to use. The same way, the Talon pistol's incredible, the Enforcer's incredibly strong, but I don't go and pick them up because I don't enjoy using them. It's not satisfying to just down somebody in a third-person game and finish them off for the floor. The reason I play Gears 5, the reason I play Gears of War, is because extended shotgun dances with Lancer fire. Yes, I don't want the game to be shotgun only. Please don't think that. Like, I don't want the game to be shotgun only. That would be very, very boring. I like Lancer fire. I like crossing. I like suppressing fire. I like thinking, right, I'm going to smoke this area off and cut through and rotate. I like all that stuff. I don't even dislike the idea of flashbang if it could be dealt with in a better way, but it wasn't, so it needed to go. But the idea that I want only shotgun only gameplay isn't true, because that's really, really boring. You know, if everybody played Gears 1 on a good connection and everyone was like a host-esque connection, people would Lancer a lot more. You know, it's connections, it's maps, it's design choices, and I don't like the idea of side weapons should be fought over and picked up as much as possible, because to me, I'm not picking up the side weapon because it's weak. I'm just not picking it up because it's boring. If the side weapons did something different and they weren't just killing machines, if side weapons were like utility, like this is an ink, you pick it up and you throw it and it doesn't do a stun, because that's like more of a killing tool then, it creates a zone that slows people. And then you could think, right, I will pick up the ink because I want to slow down people that run past the boom shot, and then I can Lancer them down a bit better. Or I'm just spitballing ideas, right? I haven't sat down and thought about this. But I don't want to pick up a gun that's like, this gun's good and I'm picking it up because it's a machine gun or a pistol or whatever and it kills fast. Or it's a Lancer or it's a claw and it kills fast. That's not why I'm picking it up. I want it to do something different, change the battlefield a little bit, or you know, just be a fun gun to use. But that's by the by. You know, the reason I'm making this video is I'm a bit worried about the game, because I believe that with the flashbangs removed, a full competent team, full esports team, or whatever you want to call it, super hardcore competitive guys, they would be like, right, now the flashbangs have been removed, that's going to fundamentally change the way the game's played. Setups are going to be different, break-in, the pattern of play is going to be different, the game's going to need a full rebalance. And honestly, I've yet to see from the remainder of the team if I can sort of put my faith in them to do that. I know Ryan could do it. I know Dana spoke about how he watched the local Mexican events and people were shoot meleeing because of the extra poke range. I haven't really seen anything changed about that. I know Ryan said he wanted to do independent movement, meaning rolls could have different speeds, meaning a side or back roll could be used and have faster movement speed, so you could use it aggressively. But a forward roll wouldn't have move speed because nobody likes a noob rolling in the face. There was systems like he talked about having better regen, because people struggle to, you know, once you get put red, you don't really ever feel like you're regenning, and then someone just goes wide on you and downs you. I don't know if those systems will ever be put in the game or anything like that. But I just thought I'd speak on the game, because I've got hundreds and hundreds of clips, hundreds of ideas. But I don't think if I'm being honest, I don't think the game merits a full rebalance. We're 7 months down the line. There's going to be new consoles coming out soon. There's going to be new games. For me, I enjoy doing the Tour of Duty. I enjoy doing the challenges. I'd like a little bit of online play. It's not terrible, but it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I wouldn't even go as far as to say it's good. I enjoy it because I like Gears. You know what I mean? You know, it doesn't merit a full rebalance. Again, you're going to have to rework quitters, because you could create the most balanced game in the world, but if everybody quits with no punishment, that's a problem. You know, I can't sit and commit to a 2-hour horde game and then have the game just drop on me and not receive any cards. That's super frustrating. You know, there's the base game needs to be fully improved, doesn't it? And then the high level balance comes in, because if you don't know, 99% of people, statistic made up, but you know what I mean, the vast majority of people, they play campaign, they play some multiplayer, they play the odd mode. Oh, there's TDM, there's a King of the Hill game. Yep, shot some people, done some stuff. You know, done the co-op, played the campaign, done a little bit of horde, maybe tried some escape, and then they leave. High level balance, like me sat here talking about poke, Gib range, is it 150 max poke, is it 185, is it 200? I know it's all irrelevant. The 99.9% of players will sign in, and this is what they'll do. They'll sign in, shoot somebody, they won't die. They'll say, oh, 83%, oh, 85%, not knowing that they're not close enough. Then they'll get one-shotted, not knowing the person's closer than they think they are, or they've just misjudged the Gib range because they're new and they haven't learnt it. There'll be there's basically different communities. There's a community that always says, yeah, maybe don't try pushing with a Nasher like a noob and stop been rushing, and then maybe you won't cry about the Lancer. I'm just been tactical. Okay, I understand that point. But most people that play the game don't mind getting lancered or crossed if they can move. They don't like the feeling they've been pinned down, forced, stuck in a location. If they wanted to be stuck in a location and have tactical dugout trench battles, they'd play a different game. Most people play Gears to be fast, exciting, third-person gory games, not to have tactical trench warfare. Then there are people that only play Horde. They don't care about this. Like, if I sit and talk about high-level balance, they don't care. It's irrelevant to them. They want new cards for Horde. They want new maps for Horde, new fortifications, new boss enemies, and I understand all that. I do too. Like, if I play Horde, I'd love to see some new bosses, new fortifications. A Horde-based only map would be awesome. There's Escape people. They want tiles because they want to make their own custom maps and share the code with the friends, and then the friends download the map and then they try beat the escape that their friend made. People do that. If you didn't know, like, there is different communities in the game, and just because you don't play that game, if you don't play Horde Escape campaign, doesn't mean there's no content in the game. There is a lot of content in the game. It's just maybe you don't play it. So you've got PvE, you've got Horde, Escape, campaign, open world campaign, custom map maker, esports, versus, quick play, arcade players, ranked players. All of these communities have to be catered for, and I don't think any studio could really cater for that many playstyles. Like, Call of Duty doesn't change that much, does it? FIFA doesn't change that much. Now on Gears, we've got like 20 bloody different communities, all wanting different things. And it's not feasible, really, for any team to do that much work, especially now. It's not going to happen now, is it, really? When we're like 8 months, 7 months into the lifespan of the game and there's a new console. Are they really going to like do a full rebalance of Horde, PvE, Escape, multiplayer? No. So I don't know what I'm feeling with the game. Like, I'm enjoying the Tour of Duty. I'm enjoying playing the game. If I didn't enjoy the game, I wouldn't play it. I'd never play anything I don't enjoy. And I will say, this is one of my favourite Gears games. People will hate me for that. But overall, in terms of variety of content, things to do, and enjoyment I've had, I've probably enjoyed this. It was probably Gears 1 PC, then maybe Gears 2, maybe Title Update 4/5, Title Update 6 kind of ruined the game, and the first 3 title updates were awful. I enjoyed Gears 3 at the beginning, but then it soon became retro, sawed off Lancer. Everyone kind of abused everything. Didn't really enjoy that. Didn't enjoy Judgment that much, although I liked the center screen aiming mechanics and the overall fluidity of the movement. I didn't enjoy Gears 4 at launch because it didn't work, and towards the end of Gears 4, even on core settings, I kind of enjoyed it just because there was a lot of stuff to do. And Gears 5, overall as a game, if you play all of the game modes, it's a pretty damn good game and good money, good like value for money. But if you just play multiplayer and you only care about high level ranked play with even teams and ranked systems, it's not a good game, is it really? I have to be honest, it's not a good game. Anyway, I just thought I'd do a sort of critique video. I haven't done one in a while. Everyone's calling me Mr. Positive. Everyone's saying I'm shilling out. No, I'm just being honest. Recently, I've really been enjoying the game. I've played a ton of it. Horde, Escape, all those types of things it's got to offer. Custom maps, custom map builder, and I have really enjoyed it. But the super high end of the game, the super high level stuff, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? And I don't know if it's ever going to be fixed. I don't know, for me personally, I don't know if I want to sit here and do another 7 months of like balance videos. I could do it, but it's shouting into the void, isn't it? It's I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm just going to enjoy the tour. I'm going to play some PvE, make some guides for you, see what happens. But for the moment, I'm just taking a break from multiplayer, or should I say, I'm taking a break from sort of really caring about it. Like, I'm just going to play it for what it is. I'm not going to think too deeply about it. So yeah, if anybody comes in my stream and says, what do you think about the game? I'll just send them this video and just say, really enjoy the game. Think there's a load of problems with it. Not sure it's going to get fixed. I wish they would get fixed. Should they fix them for the 0.0001% of the community that really cares and notices these things? Honestly, probably not. In the grand scheme of things, people that moan about max poke range are like the smallest percentile in the world. But there we go. I'm enjoying the game. I think it's a good game. I think it's got a load of problems like every game. As an overall product, it's pretty good. If you really care just about online ranking systems, it's pretty bad. I was actually thinking when I was brushing my teeth this morning, I know that's kind of how sad I am, if you want to realise how sad I am. I was brushing my teeth and I remember reading in the dev blog that there was 3 stages to matchmaking. And the regions that couldn't play the game, we were on stage 2, and then stage 3 was going to roll out, and it was going to allow the lesser regions to play the game. And I was sat there brushing my teeth, and I was like, I don't ever remember reading in any patch notes or any dev blog or anything that had got phased out. Maybe it has and I've missed it, but you know what I mean? It's like maybe some people can't even play the game, and that's just bad, isn't it? And then I saw someone today like, oh, well, I'm not even going there, but yeah, anyway, that's my thoughts on the game, and I thought I'd post it, and it's 26 minutes. I don't know, but there we go. If you enjoy these videos, like, comment, subscribe. We've just started a new support goal, so if you enjoyed the content for the previous month and you like the effort I've put in for the community, the guy that single-handedly raised the bar for feedback videos, and you want to support me and help me keep motivated on this game or this franchise or whatever, just in general streaming, you can support the content goal. You can @ me on Twitch. Thanks.